Okay. We'll try it again. No idea what's going on. I have not had any problems with the freaking connection over here so far. So is this one working? Welcome back, Spooky. Why does it say that my stream has ended? Okay, now I see it. And you can hear me talking. Okay, so it's working now. I wonder if it's a conspiracy. I wonder if they are controlling the internet. Who are they? I don't know. Alright, we'll just pick right up where we left off. Maybe I can pull some fancy stuff and fuse these into one video and cut out the part where I was buffering. I don't know. That was really strange, but thank you for letting me know, because I could have just gone on like that. I now have the stream open so I can see it. What's going on? Alright. Anyway, so we're right here again. It looks like he's going to get back into the Destiny portion of this, but we did have a fair amount of justification for his position. Why he is calling it genocide. Clearly, it's if it is a genocide, it's a genocide in progress, not to completion, I suppose, as of yet. Of course, we did call the Holocaust a genocide, and that was not to completion either. So, yeah, where do we draw the line? Just the question is, they keep calling the Palestinians Arabs, and I'm like, I think that is technically. Oh, wow, this is a very common Google search apparently. Oh, okay. So the AI overview tells me that Palestinians are an Arab national group. They speak a distinct dialect of Arabic, share cultural, historical, and linguistic ties with the broader Arab world, and widely identify as Arab. Okay, so it's something new I'm learning here. But then the AI overview also says that Arabs and Jews are genetically related, so Jews are also Arabs, technically. Scientific studies show they share deep common ancestry in the Middle East, primarily descending from ancient Levantine populations like Canaanites. And it said that the Palestinians speak the Levantine language. So these guys are all related. So there's that.
They are committing, gaslighting the world with rhetoric about how the IOF is the most moral army in the world, rather than the reality that they are actual terrorists. Here's Israeli Minister for Social Equality announcing how proud she is of the ruins of Gaza, and that every baby 80 years from now will tell their grandchildren what the Jews did. They take pride in the complete annihilation of a people.
אני אישית גאה בהריסות של עזה, ושכל תינוק, גם עוד 80 שנה מהיום,
She calls it a Holocaust?
יספר לנכדיו מה עשו היהודים.
And you don't have to take the word of officials. You can ask the soldiers themselves. They proudly brag about children they've killed.
We are looking for babies, but there is no babies left.
What babies? Say that again. Say it again.
No, maybe I killed a girl, she was 12, but I'm looking for a baby.
Do you like Palestinian children?
Yes.
Does it make you feel good when you bomb a hospital? Really?
Yes.
You guys kill children in Lebanon, is that okay?
Yeah, this is okay because in Hamas,
What about the children, the babies?
the babies is good to.
Really, in Lebanon?
Yes, in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Iran.
Really? It's okay to kill babies in Iran?
Yes, yes. It's
And
okay.
in Gaza?
Yes.
And in Lebanon?
Yes.
You really believe that?
But to be clear, I do think we have evidence of Hamas soldiers say the same shit, right? They're both saying it about each other.
Yes.
Really? Have you ever killed any Palestinians?
I
Have you ever killed any Palestinian children?
I
How many?
don't know.
You don't keep track?
No, but I
היינו במערב, זיהינו
So is he gonna go back into? Because this sounds like more of a. It's described as a hit piece on Destiny, and I'm not seeing a lot of that here. So, and are we just gonna go back to Destiny at the end? That's all I'm seeing in the preview here. Where else is Destiny in this video? Oh, here's that one.
Deny the fact that Israel is the main point of shrieking as they get their last glimpse of daylight. There is no way for me to physically illustrate for you the true extent of this genocide. And that brings us to the main point of this video. Dickheads like Destiny deny the fact that Israel is committing genocide. This is beyond comprehension. Any honest person with the courage to look can instantly see what has been going on in Gaza for nearly 3 years now, and it is objectively genocide. Anyone who wants to complain about how woefully unqualified I am to make that assessment, they can shut their dumb fuck faces, because you don't have to take my word for it. Every single human rights organization in the entire world has labeled this a genocide. Let me play a short clip from Mehdi Hassan, since he will be able to get this point across quite succinctly.
Gaza has been cut off from the world for almost 3 years and subjected to war crimes, ethnic cleansing, genocide. But if you say that, Israel and its supporters will accuse you of lying, of being anti-Semitic, of perpetrating a blood libel. So let me debunk this argument in less than 60 seconds by asking one very simple question. Start the clock. Do you believe Benjamin Netanyahu, Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich about what's been happening in Gaza, or do you believe the UN Independent Commission of Inquiry, the UN Special Committee, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, the UN Special Rapporteur for the Occupied Palestinian Territories, 14 other UN Special Rapporteurs, the former UN Humanitarian Chief, UNICEF, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, B'Tselem, Gisha, Physicians for Human Rights Israel, Doctors Without Borders, Oxfam, Save the Children, Christian Aid, Action Aid, the NGO Air Wars, the NGO Action on Armed Violence, the International Association of Genocide Scholars, and its President Melanie O'Brien, the editor of the Journal of Genocide Research, Dirk Moses, the author of the book What is Genocide, Martin Shaw, the leading Israeli Holocaust scholars, Omar Bartov, Amos Goldberg, Daniel Blattman, Raz Siegel, Shmuel Lederman, the Norwegian Refugee Council, the Danish Refugee Council, Refugees International, the International Rescue Committee, the former head of Israel's military, Moshe Yalon, the former head of Israel's Shin Bet, Ami Ayalon, the former deputy head of Israel's Mossad, Amran Levin, and the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Olmert. Who do you believe, them or the Israeli government? Who do you think is lying? All of them or Benjamin Netanyahu?
Another big problem I was gonna bring up was the UN and the way that MAGA and Trump view the UN, right? Because according to them, the UN is just a useless, pile of garbage, and he's been saying that for a while, as far as I can remember, like even before this, Trump was attacking the UN. And NATO, right? Well, this, I guess, is the most recent one. President Donald Trump delivered a scathing address to the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025, blasting the organization for failing to live up to its potential. He criticized the UN's ineffectiveness in resolving global conflicts, dismissed climate change as a con job, and argued that Western nations were going to hell due to migration policies. Yeah. So I remember, and that's like just one of, a number of instances, I think.
But Mehdi, didn't you know that all of those organizations and all of those people are Hamas? The entire world hates Jews. Only Israel is telling the truth. Everyone else is a lying anti-Semite. Case closed. Anyway, more effective than just listing organizations, we can go through the specific details which demonstrate that this is objectively genocide. Let's start with the death toll. You'll see propaganda peddlers on social media cracking up about how it's the only genocide where the population actually increased. Disgusting. It's impossible to get a true count, but any official numbers you'll see that hover around 70,000.
says post 10/7 Gaza, over 10% of population directly killed or injured, 67,000 killed, 169,000 plus injured, 236,000 plus total casualties as of October 3rd, 2025. Unknown number of indirect deaths. What the fuck is an indirect death? Is that like from like starvation, some type of like malnutrition and stuff like that?
Killed are so far off the mark, it's insane. And anyone complaining that these are fabricated Hamas numbers is brainwashed. An independent study in The Lancet estimated well over 180,000, half of which are children, and that was in July of 2024. 2 full years ago. Previous estimates had been much lower because they only took into account bodies that were identified.
Hey, welcome, Cher. Good to see you. That's a great. Great. Is that a quote, or did you make that one? Yeah. No, knowledge is the key to enlightenment, for sure. I mean, education is really the answer. But how do you educate people out of um, their learned hatred for one another, especially when they're literally neighbors, you know?
Identifiable and directly correlated with airstrikes or gunshots. But
Welcome, if I didn't say that.
thousands of bodies have been totally vaporized, leaving nothing identifiable behind. And thousands more bodies are still buried under rubble from all the carpet bombing or in still undiscovered mass graves.
Well, if they're vaporized, you have no evidence of the bodies. You're just making the claim, I suppose. Um, and then the mass graves, how would you know how many are in there if they are undiscovered? Um, I guess I guess this is based off maybe the number of people who are missing in these zones where attacks have taken place, right? Like we could just say, oh well, last we knew this person was here and they disappeared, so obviously.
Additionally, so many people have died from wounds, from general poor health, from starvation, from freezing to death because they sleep through the winter in paper-thin tents, from disease because there is near zero health infrastructure. All of these are victims of genocide. They are deaths caused by the total and complete destruction of a territory and everything a society needs to survive. And Israel hasn't stopped bombing Gaza for a single day since July 2024, ceasefire or not, so the number is much higher now. Israel has murdered hundreds of thousands of Gazans, likely at least 20% of the Gazan population. That's genocide. It is a maximization of casualties while still maintaining their version of plausible deniability. They also
That is absolutely crazy.
specifically
Just those images. I mean, it's pretty hard to stomach.
targeted hundreds of journalists, well over 1,000.
They can test the DNA if they can find the remains. Can they test dust for DNA? Possibly. I'm not sure. I mean, if they're claiming that bodies were rise the whole body, I don't think that usually happens when like bombs drop, unless you're directly in the epicenter, maybe. But it would just scatter many small fragments away from the blast, right? It would be. I don't know. Um, oops, wrong button. It says a nuclear bomb can vaporize a human body if the person is located directly inside the fireball at the exact moment of detonation. However, for conventional explosives and for the vast majority of people caught in a nuclear blast, true vaporization does not occur. Instead, the body is violently torn apart and destroyed by mechanical forces and extreme heat. Um, so he may just be kind of being hyperbolic there, I guess. Um, but yeah, you would think there would be some evidence of remains, even if they were small fragments. What's up, Pixie? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's horrible, and he was showing the kids earlier and stuff in the hospital. Just gross, fucking gross. What's he showing here? Humanitarian organizations and UN experts accuse Israel of deliberately attacking, detaining, and killing healthcare workers actions they describe as an intentional effort to dismantle Gaza's medical infrastructure. Yeah, and I think that's in Geneva as well. That is it. They're not even supposed to target medics on the battlefield, let alone if they're attacking the city. Um, there's a specific rule on attacking hospital. Yeah, under the Geneva Conventions, deliberately attacking military or civilian medical personnel displaying clear protective emblems like a red cross or red crescent is strictly prohibited and constitutes a war crime. Medics are classified as non-combatants as long as they do not engage in offensive combat operations. At least 986 medical workers have been killed in Gaza, with hundreds more casualties reported across Lebanon. Hundreds of healthcare workers have been detained without charge, with agencies like Doctors Without Borders demanding the immediate release of dozens of Palestinian doctors still held in Israeli prisons. Released detainees have reported experiencing torture and severe abuse during captivity. The World Health Organization has recorded hundreds of attacks on health facilities, heavily damaging hospitals and making medical neutrality in the conflict a major point of international contention.
Doctors and other key personnel publicizing the genocide and keeping citizens safe. That's genocide. The continued use of white phosphorus and other illegal weapons as documented by Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International. That's genocide. It's very easy to get much more granular with it as well. Francesca Albanese of the UN Refugee Agency published a report way back in March of 2024 that outlined a determination of genocide, and she has continued to update that report ever since. It documents explicitly stated intent for genocide, the long list of violations of international law, systematic torture and sexual abuse of prisoners with no legitimate charge against them, a total erasure of culture, the stripping away of any sense of dignity for an entire people. Israel really hits every single point on the genocide checklist. For writing these reports and sharing these determinations with the UN, Francesca has faced a volume of harassment and threats to her personal safety that I can't even begin to imagine. And that's coming from someone who is harassed every day and receives threats sporadically. You heard Mehdi's list, but let's expand a little. Human Rights Watch cited starvation as a weapon of war and the creation of conditions calculated to bring about the physical destruction of the Palestinian population. Doctors Without Borders cited the testimonies of doctors reporting that they routinely received children who have been shot in the head or chest by snipers, as we mentioned. UNICEF reported that essentially all of the million or so children remaining in Gaza need mental health and psychosocial support due to immeasurable trauma, especially the thousands who have lost limbs, usually amputated without anesthetic. And though
How could you not? So, and there's a big question for me. I mean, I understand that it's right. They can't leave because then they would be capitulating, right? If they were to like literally evacuate, they would be giving up. Um, they would be giving up their land there. But can they safely get the children out? Like, why are the children still there? Is there anywhere that they can take these kids so that they're outside of the war zone, right? Just a
those who
thought.
have lost their entire families. The International Association of Genocide Scholars stated that the legal definition is cleanly met, citing war crimes and crimes against humanity. Jewish Voice for Peace, Amnesty International, even several Israeli organizations. It's a long list of organizations, and the list of criteria that qualify this as genocide is never-ending. 90% of Gazans displaced, absolutely all farmland unusable, continuous blocking of humanitarian aid, starvation and life-threatening malnutrition, mass executions of healthcare and rescue workers. Israel is a club of genocide overachievers. If you deny the fact that Israel is committing genocide, you are no different from a climate change denier or an anti-vaxxer or a fucking flat earther. You are denying the very obvious reality that we live in. Did you hear that, Stephen? Then let's talk about the complete demolition of the entire territory. Israel wants people to believe that they're the most moral army in the world, taking every imaginable measure to protect innocent civilians, while exclusively targeting filthy Hamas terrorists with laser precision. This is total horseshit. I mean, again, they proudly announce that they want to murder every last child in Gaza, so anyone who believes them when they say the opposite is a moron. But more importantly, there objectively is no precision contribution whatsoever to the destruction in Gaza. More than 78% of Gazan infrastructure has been demolished by relentless carpet bombing.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, now I don't know the. Let's see. Let's pull up a map. It's not a very large territory. I see. Okay, we'll just look this one up from Britannica. We'll switch over here real quick. Sure you can see this. Zoom, damn it. Zoom. Israel. Here's Gaza. This is the Gaza Strip, right? You can see. Back out. Up here. Ooh, sorry, I have to switch over. Up here, that's Israel. That's the Gaza Strip, right? It is kind of a weird little cutaway there. Tiny. It's just a tiny fraction of the coastline there. Crazy, crazy. Okay, we'll watch a few more minutes of this and then switch over to Destiny's video. Apparently it's going to be response. We'll see how he lays it out. Whether it's like one-to-one him responding to each point in the video or not. But again, this is going to take multiple parts to cover, and I want to cover some of Trav's responses as well. So.
Every hospital, every school, every bakery, every city demolished. Once refugee tent camps were set up, they bombed those too. They tell them to
Oh, I see. Pixie said they can't evacuate. They're penned in, and a lot of countries are refusing refugees. They keep moving around where they are told to go be safe, but it isn't keeping them safe. Yeah. Israel shot at people bringing them supplies, including Americans. I remember that one. It is vile and disheartening. I agree. Yeah. Again, I have not had kind words or thoughts about Israel in this either. So I'm very much sympathetic to Dave's position here. Again, I don't know specifically what Destiny said. Maybe we'd have to go back to the original video that Destiny made to see why it triggered this response from Dave, right? But Pangburn is again now defending Destiny. Dave's making personal attacks against Destiny. So, yeah, I don't know if this is just a minor disagreement, right? This is really a deep ethical stance to take. Is this justified? Can you reasonably justify what Israel is doing here? And I don't think so. Yeah, sure, it's just stuck between the ocean and the hell. Yeah, they just want the beachfront property, I guess. That's all they want. They're like, that's our beach. Pixie says, and Israel has been stealing their land with settlers for more than a decade. Yeah. Well, they consider it their land. Why? Why do they consider it their land again? See, I always find that pretty strange.
evacuate even though they have nowhere to go and then bomb them anyway. They give them safe routes to evacuate and then bomb the safe routes. They designate safe spaces and then bomb those too. And when they occasionally let in food, they shoot at Gazans when they try to get it. It's complete annihilation combined with twisted psychological torture. It's very easy to look at image after image of the destruction to see that there was zero regard for precision. They weren't aiming for some imaginary terrorist. They were never doing anything but destroying Gaza from day one. You're not convinced by these images? Too small in scope? Let's get a broader top-down view.
Oh, now he's gonna show it. And pretty much wipe the whole place off the map. Crazy, crazy. Okay, we're gonna go see what Destiny's video is about here. Where? No. Try again. There we go. Thank you. All right, this is the response video. Again, we may have to go.
Don't just take classes. Take charge. Start.
Destiny's original video, which I wasn't really aware of that one. Obviously, I was not paying close attention when I started that. I just went, "Oh, Dave's going after Destiny. Well, let's see what this is about." But yeah, now this is a back.
This incredible. At any rate, influencers were being paid to disseminate the narratives that the state had settled on each day.
Who? I keep hearing this claim. Who is getting paid? I haven't met anybody. I didn't get paid. Who is getting paid for this? Source? Nope.
They watched their land being usurped and given to settlers.
The bullshit map. The map. Not the map.
Oh yeah, I promised some other dirt on this guy. As if the genocide denial wasn't enough, here's a few other tips.
Whoa! Can we... Pedophile. Let's go.
Here he is advocating for white nationalists murdering BLM protesters.
Oh yeah, the greatest hits.
Let's skip through the clips.
I'm anti-Semitic. Which, the video that he made criticizing that Avi Loeb dude, it absolutely was fucking weird as fuck. All right.
Hey everyone.
Oh.
So that's what he responded to originally, was the criticism of Avi Loeb. Again, don't know who that is, so...
Just wants me to watch the intro to this.
The blatant manipulation, opportunism, and perpetual victim complex is par for the course when dealing with disgusting Zionist frauds like that. Anyway... science as much as they want, and if anyone exposes those lies, they're automatically an anti-Semite.
Bro, this guy reaches so hard. Holy shit, he's obsessed.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but the whole world despises your ideology. The world knows your gaslighting and your Hasbara tactics. Shouting anti-Semitism at everyone that hurts your feelings is just going to hasten your demise tenfold. So keep it up, you worthless Zionist pile of filth.
And I didn't mention Judaism. I said Zion. Oh, just as a quick thing, the reason why it's so weird is like the video that he's responding to, this guy is like a weird, I think he's a, fuck, I don't want to, he's like a flat earther. It's something weird, or he believes in like the ether or something. But,
he must be talking about Loeb. Yeah, because Dave obviously doesn't believe any of that shit.
It didn't have anything to do with Zionism, or at least not in the Professor Dave video. I didn't see anything about Zionism. Oh, he believes in aliens or something. So it was just so weird that he kept bringing in like, oh, this guy, everybody hates that you're a Zionist. I was like, what? Why?
It's tenfold. So keep it up, you worthless Zionist pile of filth.
And I didn't mention Judaism. I said Zionism. Get a grip. This kind of like rhetoric right here, you know you don't. This is a...
AI overview says that Avi Loeb is not a flat earther, so I'm not sure what he's fucking referring to there, but okay.
This is Nazism, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Deception and victimization are like the two key pillars of neo-Nazi belief. It's the idea that Jews are secretly behind the scenes controlling everything to deceive you, and they use the Holocaust to do it. Control. And then the self-victimization is they constantly harp about the Holocaust. Oh my God, we get it, bro. The reason why they have to harp about the Holocaust... Whoa. Chill. This is because they have to center their victimhood so that they have an infinite blank check, basically, to deceive you and to control society. It's kind of crazy to do this, but whatever. Apparently he was unhappy with that.
As you know, I'm a science communicator who explains science and...
Time to do politics, though. When it comes to Israel-Palestine, though, woo!
Debunks science-denying frauds. Quite the Venn diagram.
Dave does politics semi-frequently. And it's not his brand, but I mean, he does talk about politics. Yeah, I've heard him talk about politics.
Diagram exists between anti-science propaganda, predatory capitalism, Christian nationalism, and Zionism, which means I end up...
Like, I feel like Jews are some of the more educated people on the planet, no? Are we really saying that Israel in particular is a country susceptible to fraud and, like, conspiratorial nonsense? Okay.
The Jews, I think they have a like the education is big in the culture, kind of like with a lot of Asian culture. But I don't know if they are among the most educated. I would have to look into that.
Bringing up Israel from time to time. Zionists hate that, so they attack me constantly, like what happened recently with a guy named Destiny.
Let's
talk about him. If you don't know who Stephen Bonnell, aka Destiny, is, he's a media personality who takes to defending liberal and progressive viewpoints on most political topics. He sounds smart enough when debunking MAGA talking points, and if that's all he ever did, you'd be hearing nothing negative about him from me. But that activity is dramatically overshadowed by his unrelenting Zionism and support for the never
unrelenting
parade of human rights violations being perpetrated by the genocidal ethno-state that is Israel. Whether he is being paid by Israel or is genuinely just dumb enough to have fallen for Israeli propaganda and is in too deep now to admit it, I can't say. But he recently decided to poke the hornet's nest by doing a particularly slanderous live stream about me, accusing me of being a Jew.
Slanderous?
Hating neo-Nazi. It's called Professor Dave Goes...
Okay, I don't think I ever accused him of being a neo-Nazi. I'm just pointing out that the rhetoric he's using is neo-Nazi rhetoric. The deception and self-victimization are like the two big tenets of like neo-Nazi criticism. But I don't think he's a neo-Nazi. I think he's a fucking tanky. Or I don't even think he's a tanky, actually. He's just mind-fucked on Israel-Palestine. Like the entire fucking United States is, I guess, or the world is.
Mask off. And
how is that the case? Do you know? Hold on. I want to check this out. What is going on? That's amazing. The phone's ringing. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. So slightly tilted. Okay, so according to this Gallup or whatever right now, around 60% of U.S. adults express an unfavorable view of Israel, while general public sympathy is closely divided or tilts slightly towards Palestine, depending on the specific phrasing of the question, right? So that's a very narrow margin. That's among those polled, you know. That's you can't get 60%. I mean, it's so hard. So no, there's still a good deal of Americans that are supporting Israel at this point, but maybe it's slightly skewed against, right? But the ruling party obviously does, right? MAGA and Trump do support them. Divided by age and party. Age gap support is heavily divided by generation. Adults under 35 are decisively more sympathetic towards Palestinians than Israelis, whereas older Americans 55 and older still lean more towards supporting Israel, though by shrinking margins. And then it says Republicans remain largely favorable towards Israel, around 58 to 70%, depending on the metric, though younger Republicans have shown rising skepticism. Conversely, roughly 80% of Democrats hold an unfavorable view of Israel, and large majorities express that the U.S. government is currently being too supportive of Israeli military actions, right?
The thumbnail says, these fucking Zionists, where Zionists is covering...
What's up, JG? Good to see you.
...the word Jews,
True.
Implying that I really just hate all Jews.
True. No, not all. Just like 90%, I think, identify as Zionists. So not all of them, just 90%.
In it, he is reacting to my third and most recent video exposing Avi Loeb, the astrophysicist and charlatan, in which...
We're not doing religion today necessarily, although there is some religious ideology involved, but this is just atheists eating each other, I guess.
Amidst breaking down his endless lies about science, I point out yet again in passing his ties to the Zionist lobby and how he employs Zionist tactics of gaslighting and playing the victim to deflect when his fraudulence is exposed. I'll just play you Destiny's intro stinger to his video so you can get a sense of it. The blatant manipulation,
I didn't even need to watch my thing.
Complex is par for the course when dealing with disgusting Zionist frauds like that. Anyway. As much as they want, and if anyone exposes those lies, they're automatically an anti-Semite.
Bro, this guy reaches so hard. Holy shit, he's obsessed.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but the whole world despises your ideology. The world knows your
I was gonna say this when I started, and then anyway, everything got all fucked up. But yeah, I'm really surprised at this point. We got a little over 30 minutes into the last stream. We're now over 30 minutes into this stream, and not one fucking ad. And I'm pretty sure both of these guys are monetized. Maybe they turned off the ad flow for these videos. This is not Destiny's main channel. This is one of his Clip It channels, Destiny Productions.
Sliding and your Hasbro tactics. Shouting anti-Semitism and everyone your tenfold. So keep it up, you worthless Zionist pile of filth.
And I didn't mention Judaism. I said Zionism. Get a grip. This kind of like rhetoric right here, you even know you don't. This is Nazism right here, right? Deception and victimization are like the two key pillars of kind of neo-Nazi belief. It's the idea that Jews are secretly behind the scenes controlling everything to deceive you, and they deceive you about that control. And then the self-victimization is they constantly harp about the Holocaust. Oh my God, we get it. The reason why they have to harp about the Holocaust is because they have to center their victimhood so that they have an infinite blank check basically to deceive you and to control society. It's kind of crazy to just, but whatever.
Yes, he is literally calling me a Nazi. Deconstructing this.
Well, are we using literally here as figuratively? I'm not calling you a Nazi. I'm just saying that these are, well, whatever. I said it. I even said this is like neo-Nazi rhetoric, but okay.
Farce will come at the end of this video, but we have a lot of context to set up and information to get through first. Honestly, so many people have asked me to make a video formally summarizing my stance on Israel, and this was an excuse to do it, while also highlighting.
So he hasn't gotten to that portion yet. It'll be a ways off, actually, in this part of the video. But we already know that later on Dave is going to show how the Israelis are actually using rhetoric that is strikingly similar to Nazi rhetoric when speaking about the Palestinians.
What a douche this guy is. Beyond his nauseating defense of Israel, he also has some really bizarre skeletons in his closet that I was able to come across. Hornet's nest, remember? But we will get back to him in due time. Now, many of you are aware.
I don't think he knows what skeletons in his closet. I don't think he knows what that means. Like, I don't think you would say like an active litigated court case or things that people say about you all the time are skeletons in your closet. That seems like stuff that's out front and out in front and center of everything, but okay.
That this is not the first time I've been harassed and slandered by Zionists, not by a long shot. Right after the genocide began, for several months I was spending way too much time on Twitter, relentlessly combating Zionist propaganda being disseminated by hordes of paid influencers whose job it was to brainwash the masses and manufacture consent for genocide. You've never seen propaganda anywhere in your life like what was being vomited up at that time.
Okay, so just as a heads up, there was a thing that
I want to go into another map that I'm looking at here. So this is crazy, actually. So this is a map of the shrinking of Palestine. Between 1946 and now. Oh, of course, it's gonna make me switch to another. Can we zoom in on this? Yay, I can do it now. This was Palestine, 1946. They give Israel all of this, and I guess this strangely drawn borders. That these land masses don't actually connect, and they've got a weird green dot right here, and then they have like a thin land bridge here, but this is Israeli, I guess. Really fucking strange. And then by 1949 to 67, here they're shrunk down to this region and the Gaza Strip. And then 2012, they've got a little bit of land here and the Gaza Strip, and now they're trying to wipe them off of the map. Now they've just got this and it's been obliterated, right? So Israel moved in, they gave them this land, and it wasn't enough, right? That's the official narrative. Okay, so history lesson for us there. So I was like, wasn't there more of Palestine? Well, apparently at one point there was, but not anymore.
Thing that I used to call, this the October 8th test.
Ooh, squirrels. Yeah, we got a lot of squirrels around here. We feed the squirrels. Get a lot of squirrel action where I'm staying at now, so that's fun.
To find out how fucking insane you are, and Professor Dave fails or passes extraordinarily depending on how you consider that. These were the tweets that this guy was firing off on October 8th. October 8th, okay? If you feel the need to tweet about one innocent dead woman in a truck, but have never tweeted about the thousands of innocent Palestinians who are brutally murdered on a daily basis, thousands murdered on a daily basis under an illegal military occupation, you are part of the problem. October 8th, by the way. Zionism is not a religion, bud. Condemn Israel with 1,000 times the vigor and frequency that you condemn Hamas to be proportional to the death toll, and we won't have anything to disagree about. Now remember, for Israel, because we support them, I guess, is why we have to criticize them so heavily. And then also because of the ratio between how many people the IDF kills versus Hamas kills, like the ratio is really important there. But then when it comes to like The other actors in the region, like Hezbollah or the Houthis or Iraq or Iran or anything else, the numbers don't matter because I guess just because we don't support them directly. They always use this argument, but I feel like if we were to withdraw all support from Israel and then they were to begin like really genociding the Palestinians, would you just say we shouldn't do anything? That never makes sense to me. I don't know. The idea that we only care because we support them and then you have to criticize them more than other people because of the death count. But if you look at the death count of anybody else, it's, yeah. If Israel didn't
It's also the fact that these people obviously have nowhere else to go. They've been pushed literally to one strip of land, and now you're decimating that strip of land. So what do you do in that case? Yeah, I mean that's absolutely insane. They have no alternative. They have to move to another country because their country has been completely hostily taken over.
Humanize Palestinians, Hamas wouldn't exist. That's the fucking point. They exist because of the blockade, the colonizers, the brutality. Use your brain. The blockade came after Hamas, but I wouldn't expect history to be done by any of these fucking people. October 11th, you naive toddler. Hamas didn't start it. They are the reaction to 75 years of brutal military occupation. Fucking educate yourself, okay?
Why are we going back to 2023 right now? Can we not keep the arguments current? I mean, both of these guys, man, come on. I mean, I understand there's history here and we got to reread the history. We don't criticize something somebody said 3 years ago. I mean, criticize what they're saying now, right?
It's not,
you're supposed to be, oh, because he's looking at the Canary site. That's where they pulled from. Okay, so
not a double standard because I know that Israel is lying literally always. They are manufacturing consent for genocide by fabricating beheaded babies. I think there was a French outlet that reported that incorrectly, the 40 beheaded babies thing. It didn't come from an Israeli outlet. And rape and countless other things. Sorry. That's January 3rd, to be fair, of the next year. It's not a Jewish organization. He's the president of AIPAC, the most influential lobby in America.
But we just saw IDF guys in Dave's video, which he's no longer looking at. They were bragging about targeting the babies. They wanted to find the babies. One guy was like, he was upset because he could only kill a 12-year-old. He couldn't kill a baby.
Billions of dollars flowing to Israel with which to commit genocide. He should be in prison with a death sentence, so stop shitting your pants. I wonder who that's about. The president of AIPAC. I don't even know who that is. Is that me? Hamas doesn't have anywhere to hide. They are not a military. They're just people in Gaza. What? And Israel blows up civilian targets, simply claiming they're tactical. It's bullshit. October 13th. Nice. Most of what you're hearing about Hamas is fabricated, and whatever isn't.
I've heard. So I'll say this. I know at least one Afghanistan war veteran, excuse me, who told me about killing a child in that conflict, and essentially justified it. I wouldn't say he was proud of it, but he felt as if he had done his duty by doing it. His justification was that if that child had grown up, he would have necessarily grown up to become a combatant. And so then he was killing the future enemy. Right? That was the way he justified it in his mind. And yeah, just really sick stuff that happens when you're engaged in war, and the rationality you come, to justify your actions. Right?
Doesn't amount to 0.1% of what Israel has done to Palestine over the past 75 years. Get your priorities straight. They're under a military occupation. The radicalization is Israel's fault. Ha! Minimize non-combatant casualties. Holy fuck, you are naive. Israel routinely does what Hamas did. They did it today. Who's talking about it? Fucking nobody. Pre-planned evil? They have a military occupation of Palestine. Just stop. You're ridiculous. This is October 10th. This guy is fucking unhinged. I don't know how many fucking tweets I've archived here, but holy shit. Anyway, based.
A fabrication of 40 beheaded babies, which Joe Biden himself publicly claimed to have seen photographs.
He said he saw photographs of beheaded babies. He shouldn't have said this. I don't know where. He might have actually seen it, though. But this claim was not originated by Israel or some... I think it was a... somebody said Channel 4? Is that
a lot of people do this, though. They just generalize children as babies, right? They could just be juveniles and say, just call them all babies because they're all children, right? The same way they conflate, statutory sex crimes with PDF filing and stuff like that. So some people just say all children are babies because they're not grown-ups yet, right? Which is false. and lacks nuance. But yeah, politicians do this a lot too.
Outlet that fucked up and spread this claim, but
graphic evidence of, only to later walk back and admit that no such evidence exists, since it's not a thing that happened. Fabricated claims of a baby being cooked in an oven, endless claims of rape when in fact it is Israel that systematically rapes Palestinian prisoners in the most brutal manner imaginable.
People don't talk about it much because nobody pushes these people, because nobody actually cares. Also, I don't know why they say, I know why. It's not 75 years of occupation. It would be like 60 years, but whatever. People say that, fuck, I just mind fucking myself. Oh, they don't believe that any rapes happened on October 7th. Or if they did, it was like one or two bad apples. All of them are consistent on this position. They're just never really pushed on it much.
A behind-the-scenes clip of a Lebanese short film.
I don't know about that. I mean, I heard some pretty horrendous stuff. Like I said, that one elderly woman was brutalized so badly that they literally pulled her legs out of their sockets or something, like broke her hip bone. So I mean, I don't think it's one or two bad apples doing that. I mean, that's kind of crazy. But what's up, Will? Good to see you. What's up, buddy? Yeah, we're covering the this drama over here with Destiny and the Professor Dave guy. Welcome.
Used to claim that Palestinians were faking the war crimes against them, yielding the birth of the disgusting term Pallywood. Claims of immense networks of Hamas bases underneath hospitals to justify the bombing of every single hospital in Gaza, only to provide zero evidence of such bases after the fact, except a few planted guns.
Everybody acknowledges this. Even Amnesty International. Everybody acknowledges that these are bases that are used or co-opted. Like Amnesty International in 2014 did big reports on Al Shifa Hospital, for instance, being used by Hamas for torturing people and as a base of operations. And there's like tunnels underneath. It was a huge blow to UNRWA's credibility when they discovered another big like underground thing that was right next to like the entrance of the hospital in such a way that they obviously knew they were operating there. But
several hours after entering, and a list of terrorists that was really a calendar. A tidal wave of lies in the form of social media activity that was viewed by many millions of people. Endless dehumanizing.
Yeah, for those who are just joining, I guess I will mention again that this stream, I started it earlier. The stream got jacked up. I was buffering, so I had to start a new stream. So this is actually part 2 of the part 1 of potentially a 3-part series we're going to be doing here. So it'll be part 1, take 2, and then the actual part 2. But we're deep diving here because this involves third parties and stuff like that. There's a lot of moving parts. So yeah, the beginning of the stream is another stream, and then we started this stream, which is the continuation of the first stream, and then we'll be doing another future stream to hopefully finalize this, or maybe 2. But yeah, it's a lot.
Rhetoric to garner.
People say this: where the fuck was the mountain of Israeli propaganda after October 7th? It was exclusively pally slop. You can tell this too because these people, by the way, today, people like Professor Dave or Hassan will still tell you that big hospital bombing on like the 13th or whatever, that was an Israeli JDAM that hit a hospital and killed 500 people. It was like a...
Whoa, he did not just put Professor Dave and Hassan Piker in the same sentence. I mean, they may hold a similar position on one topic, but that's a little wild to me. After listening to Professor Dave for a while and knowing what I do about Hassan, I don't follow Hassan for particular reasons because of things I know about his character and stuff like that.
Palestinian Islamic Jihad like rocket misfire that maybe I think like hurt like 30 or 40 people or whatever. Like it was not a fucking missile that hit a parking lot. Like, but this guy and other people will still believe that it was an Israeli JDAM. Yeah.
Support from the West for a totally pre-planned campaign of ethnic cleansing and land theft. At any rate, influencers were being paid to disseminate the narratives that the state had settled on each day.
Who? I keep hearing this claim. Who is getting paid? I haven't met anybody. I didn't get paid. Who is getting paid for this? Source? Nope.
Well, of course, nobody who is getting paid would admit to it, but yeah, I've heard this going around quite a bit. I don't have any reason to believe that Destiny has been paid, at least not by Israel in this particular instance, right? Based on what I've seen. But I still am not sure. Again, so if his position is this is not genocide, and then you go look at particular facts and going, then what would you call it? If it was being done conversely, if the Palestinians were doing this to the people of Israel right now, would you still not call it a genocide?
I was shitting all over these disgusting frauds day and night for several months, and the wrong people noticed, so they dogpiled on me and got my account suspended.
Imagine getting suspended for anti-Semitism on a fucking neo-Nazi platform. That's crazy. That's wild to me.
People often...
That's actually a solid point. But yeah, was it anti-Semitism? Well, ostensibly, right? I don't think that's actually something that's against the rules of X. So they must have found another justification.
Note that you can find some really egregious anti-Semitism on social media, so my tweets must have been even worse than those of actual Nazis in order to merit suspension. But those people are very confused. Zionists love anti-Semites. They quietly celebrate their presence on social media because their existence fuels Israel's victimization narrative. Israel can bomb anything they want, shoot any child in the head, steal any land, but they will always continue to be the victims. Scary anti-Semites who want all...
I think this was the image that Travis was criticizing, particularly with the kind of satanic figure with the forked tongue having the Star of David on the forehead. Travis dug into that one. I don't find it particularly offensive myself. I don't care. Again, it's a religious symbol, and it deserves no more reverence than any other.
Anything they want, shoot any
pretty much none.
Child in the head, steal any land, but they will always continue to be the victims. Scary anti-Semites who want all Jews...
Oh, later, Pixie. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate that. Appreciate you coming by. And Cher said, oh, I missed a couple. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Thank you for listening then. Cher said, I have seen studio photos of children wearing a harness with fake bullets or real bullets. Well, those could easily be doctored though, right? I don't know. Are we talking about... Oh, you're talking about like child soldiers. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of that going around. But we know that does happen, right? Like they did it to Hitler Youth. A lot of those kids were armed, but weren't even really able to fight. They just got slaughtered as soon as they were encountered. Many of them surrendered because they were terrified and they were left on their own. But yeah, I mean, all these guys universally, it's the same thing the warlords do. They threaten them with death and the death of their families, and then they send them out with weapons, and they don't care what happens to them. They're fodder. Yeah, spooky. That's better. Yeah, parts 1A and 1B. Yeah. And then Cher said, doesn't that mean that child will want to kill others when they are older? That's the assumption. The assumption is that they will be indoctrinated successfully and conscripted into whatever fighting force is native to them, right? And we really don't do much as far as protecting those children. When we know about them, we just say, oh, well, what can we do? That's their culture. Like, it would be worse if we were to go and abduct these children and take them to a place where that's not going to happen to them than if we just kill them now, because their culture chooses to do that. That's the way they justify it. Strange logic.
To die, whether a particular instance being referenced is real or not, are a key facet of this narrative. So that's not what gets targeted for suspension. What gets targeted is anyone who is effectively combating and exposing the state-sponsored Hasbro narratives, which I was doing with a passion. So I was booted from the platform, which honestly was a relief more than anything else, as this activity was starting to take a...
It says multiple or repeat violations of the X rules. But what was the rule? Because they don't tell, just like any other social media account, they don't generally tell you what rule you actually violated. But it's been reported that you violated some of our rules. And so we're taking you out. YouTube does that shit.
Toll on my emotional well-being, and then their campaign to smear me began. First, the social media activity. This actually started before my account was...
Let's see, the smears. It's quite disappointing to read Dave's content. He's someone I follow for a long time, and it's disheartening to see someone who claims to be scientists diving into conspiracy theories without taking the time to understand the actual facts. Regrettably, I've chosen not to follow him. Damn! Oh my god, the smear! It's so disappointing to read at Dave Explains. He's someone I follow for a long time, and it's a bit sad that someone who calls himself a scientist falls into conspiracy theories and doesn't bother to learn the facts. Unfortunately, I follow. Holy shit! I find it disheartening to read Dave's content, despite being long. Oh my god, are these bots actually? These kind of read like bots.
Terminated. Hundreds of tweets like this. Very obviously scripted and disseminated for all the lemmings to copy and paste.
Yeah, again, it's hard to tell because there are subtle variations in these. It's not copy-pasted, but they are all very similar. But we read through these earlier. Could be bots, or it could be, again, that another large content creator has sicked their following on you, right? A lot of people were told, hey, go repeat this question over and over to this person and see if they answer you, right?
Pretending to have been followers
We see that a lot.
of mine. Regrettably, they must unfollow because I'm a Nazi. It's all quite unconvincing. They do this all the time. You can always find clusters of scripted copy-paste tweets, like this recent campaign that Destiny would probably enjoy.
I hate both of these motherfuckers. I don't even know who these two down here are. These guys literally have it tagged that these are paid tweets, but okay.
You can always find clusters of scripted copy-paste tweets, like this recent campaign.
Paid tweets? Or is that what he said? Paid tweets? Does that mean they get paid to tweet it? Or I'm not sure what is a paid tweet?
The Destiny would probably enjoy. Then came the harassment on YouTube. Thousands, and I'm not joking, literally fucking thousands of these for weeks. These came from the bot farms that Israel employs to shift the narrative on every platform they can. Optics are everything.
Where they lost on every single platform.
Yeah, so that tracks. It says X, formerly Twitter, allows eligible users to get paid through its creator revenue sharing program, which shares a portion of ad revenue generated from ads displayed in the replies to your posts. Payouts are calculated based on engagement, views, and replies from other premium subscribers. Wow, what a darling feature. Why did I say I should leave that platform again? It's amazing. Maybe I should be getting paid to retweet fucking propaganda.
By the way, damn.
Even this very blatant artificial activity can skew things in their favor to some degree, but that's just the beginning. Organizations like StopAntisemitism.org and Canary Mission are a form of weaponized retaliation against those who speak up for Palestine on social media. I was named Anti-Semite of the Week, along with
which Destiny was earlier sourcing from
countless actors and activists like John Cusack, Susan Sarandon, Mark Ruffalo, Roger Waters, Cynthia Nixon, Greta Thunberg, Bassem Youssef, Mamdani, of course, basically anyone who draws significant attention to Israeli crimes against humanity, thereby posing a challenge to the Hasbara narrative. You know, horrible, vile anti-Semites like Miss Rachel, the children's content creator who scandalously requested on social media that Israel stop bombing children, and who can be found singing songs with Palestinian double amputee toddlers. How dare she humanize children who have had their legs and who can be found singing songs with Palestinian double amputee toddlers. How dare she humanize children who have had their legs blown off by...
What's up, Clockwork Rex? Good to see you. What the fuck is all this shit? Exactly. So we're reviewing the review that is currently being reviewed. It's Professor Dave versus Destiny versus Pangburn. It is an internal feud between the atheist community and philosophically minded content creators and science communicators, all of the above. And the divide is support for Israel, or is Israel committing a genocide? I think we could safely say yes. Destiny takes a hard no. He does not believe this is a genocide. Pangburn says he is reserving judgment to see what the higher authorities have to say once the conflict resolves, I suppose, if that's the word you can use in this particular case. And Professor Dave it takes a hard stance that yes, this is genocide, it's sick, it's crazy, and we should condemn it. And so now they're feuding about it, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Inhuman monsters. As
Thanks for coming.
part of these smear attempts, founder of Stop Antisemitism, Leora Rez, and other wastes of human life enact brutal campaigns to ruin the lives of whomever they target, doxing them and doing whatever they can to get them fired from their jobs, especially for medical professionals. For me, there was not much they could do. I'm self-employed. They tried to smear me on LinkedIn, but nobody gave a shit. Eventually, they move on. But perhaps with how much I've finally been talking about Israel in my YouTube content, as opposed to simply tweeting about them, a second wave of attention is coming my way. To demonstrate how no amount of criticism of Israel will ever be enough, there
was a post on the sub about how that TikTok you just showed of an Israeli bot farm with some Korean advertising company based. Was it a Jewish Korean though?
Going to talk a
what? Israeli bot farm?
lot about how awful Israel is. Truly, they are the most potent force of pure evil in the world since the
Jesus Christ!
Ironically, the level of disdain they have for human life is beyond comprehension. Not simply the ability to murder tens of thousands of children like their
He's not looking at it. Notice he's looking away whenever Dave shows the photo.
termites, but the delight they express in doing so, and the overwhelming support
It's good to kill babies.
that is expressed by Israeli citizens for this genocidal activity. More than 80% of Israelis support the complete annihilation of the Palestinian people. It is a twisted, psychotic society that celebrates the destruction of innocent human life. They proudly announce it openly, their desire to wipe Palestinians and other Arabs from the face of the earth.
אבל בוא נאמר...
תעשי את זה, אני מכיר אותך, אתה תעשי את זה אם תוכלי.
יכול להיות, אבל בוא נאמר ככה, הצבא צריך
To be fair, he probably has multiple screens. He's a gamer, so maybe he is able to see it on multiple screens. But it seemed to me like he was looking up whenever they're showing photos of the devastation in the bodies. He clearly rolled his eyes up, from what I could see. So.
בצפון, הוא צריך לעבוד בדרום, ולהשאיר את עזה ללא ערבים, ולהקים התיישבות יהודית בכל חבל עזה. כאשר אומרים ביישובי העוטף שרוצים לראות את הים, זאת אומרת, כדי לראות את הים, צריך שלא יהיו בתים. שאני מבין במקומות שלנו.
That lady's just ridiculous, though. She's like, we want to see the coastline. We got all these buildings in the way, so obviously we have to blow them up, right? Because we can't see that part of our coastline. It's terrible. Even though they took all that shit, right? We saw the map. They systematically took all that shit. It wasn't even their coastline.
אם הפרעים האלה לא היה שלום, אין שלום ולא יהיה שלום. לא שאני לא רוצה שלום, גם אני רוצה שלום. ארץ זה שייכת אך ורק.
We need to do the Patrick Bateman thing now, like, I want to see Hamas's videos.
Cut. He cut that. What the fuck?
Now, like, I want to see Hamas's videos.
See that cut? Let's go back one more time.
We need to do the Patrick Bateman thing now, like, I want to see Hamas's videos. Let's see Hamas's videos.
לעם ישראל, וכל עזה וכל לבנון, כל זה צריכים לשאוף לנקות את הארץ מרחבי הגוונים.
I don't care about Gaza. I literally don't care. For all I care, they can go out and swim in the sea.
אנחנו מטילים מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה.
ICC warrant, by the way.
אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם, ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם. עזה לא תחזור להיות מה שהייתה, וחמאס לא יהיה. חסל את הכל. שחיילי צה"ל הם מעל הוויכוח הזה, ואי אפשר להאשים אותם מה שנעשה בעזה, חבל שלא נעשה גרוע יותר. אין בלתי מעורבים. כל מי שיעמוד בפניו וירצה לחבל במדינת ישראל, כולל אם הם ישלחו ילדים, ישתמשו בילדים שלך.
The very article I just cited corrected the number and the fact that he mentioned. A lot of these things are like half-truths or like crazy people that are interviewing. I think that Yoav Gallant thing, I think I've looked that up before. I think he was explicitly referring to Hamas when they were going into fight there. This was said like, I think within a week or two, I think after the war began, because I think that quote made it into the South African case that they brought against Israel for the genocide prevention stuff. And I feel like I looked into the source of that quote, and I think a few of them that they'll say they're talking about all Palestinians, but they're referring to Hamas. But the clip was stated.
That's not what she just said.
Because I think that quote made it into the.
אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם, ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם. עזה לא תחזור להיות מה שהייתה, וחמאס לא יהיה. חסל את הכל. שחיילי צה"ל הם מעל הוויכוח הזה, ואי אפשר להאשים אותם מה שנעשה בעזה, חבל שלא נעשה גרוע יותר. אין בלתי מעורבים. כל מי שיעמוד בפניו וירצה
said there are no uninvolved. That's everybody in the region. She's not just talking about Hamas.
במדינת ישראל, כולל אם הם ישלחו ילדים, ישתמשו בילדים שלך.
The very article I just cited corrected the number and the fact that he mentioned.
Including children.
A lot of these things are like half-truths or like crazy people that are interviewing. I think that Yoav Gallant thing, I think I've looked that up before. I think he was explicitly referring to Hamas when they were going into fight there. This was said like, I think within a week.
Oh, is he talking about the other guy?
Or two, I think after the war began, because I think
he called them animals.
That quote made it into the South. And I feel like I looked into the source of that quote, and I think a few of them that they'll say they're talking about all Palestinians, but they're referring to Hamas. But the clip was dated the 9th of October, 2020. Yeah.
Now, she did say at the end, if they send children.
Have you seen enough? No, I don't think you have. Israeli lawmaker Yitzhak Kreuzer says there are no innocent children in the West Bank, defending the bloodthirsty behavior of settlers that murder helpless Palestinians. That Kreuzer.
Like, do I want to go look all these up? Like, I'm curious. Is this guy actually saying there are no innocent children in the West Bank? Or is he saying of the people that got killed in this incident, none of them were innocent children? If I were to look that article up. Fuck it, let's go take a look. I'm not fact-checking every single one of these. That guy's from Ben Giver's party? Oh, well, in that case, he probably does want them all dead. Hold on. Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, so he's a political opponent? Some more Ben Giver. Oh my goodness. 22. Oh, yeah. Okay, so apparently he's more extreme. It says even the Israeli court blocked his crocodile moat plan for prisons holding Palestinians, ironically based off of something Trump did, huh? Crazy.
Defense killing of Palestinian
Remember Alligator Alcatraz?
family. A lawmaker from the far-right Otzma Yehudit party told the Knesset on Wednesday that there are no innocent civilians, no innocent children in Jenin, I think they might call this. Okay, so this is
from a day ago. This just happened. He tried to make a moat full of crocodiles to contain Palestinian prisoners.
That's a fairly unhinged quote, but like this is like this Jenin is known as a place that you shouldn't go because you'll probably get fucking killed. Like even our Palestinian tour guide that was willing to take us to Nablus wouldn't take us to Jenin. That's like, I'm not saying that that's an acceptable quote, but that's like I think a seat is like one of the most like you're gonna get fucking rocked if you go to this place. It's probably more specific to this area. Again, still like not the best quote, but a little bit different than saying all children in the West Bank aren't innocent. That would be crazy to make a statement saying that you could like kill children because they're settler babies. I don't know who would say that.
Says there are no innocent children in the West Bank, defending the bloodthirsty behavior of settlers that murder helpless Palestinians and steal their homes on a regular basis with total impunity. The West Bank, no Hamas here, just Palestinians living under a brutal system of apartheid, steal their homes on a regular basis. Innocent children in the West Bank, defending the bloodthirsty behavior of settlers that murder helpless Palestinians and steal their homes on a regular basis with total impunity. The West Bank, no Hamas here, just Palestinians living under a brutal system of apartheid. Whether they are children or women, it doesn't matter to me. Journalist Shimon Ricklin says Gaza should be wiped from the face of the earth.
It's time for Nakba 2.
Journalist and politician Yinon Magal says it's time for Nakba 2, which means another massive wave of killing Palestinians and cleansing them from their territories to acquire these lands for Israel. Revital
Pretty much the only territory they have left as far as I can tell. I mean, from everything I was looking at. Let's see, post 2012. I'm gonna look at another.
Tlaib of the Likud party says, bring down buildings, bomb without distinction, stop with this impotence.
Like, I would never defend the crazy. There are some fucking insane Israelis, like there are, but you can find them saying insane stuff all the time. It's really weird to come down on somebody saying insane shit like on October 7th, though. Destiny, why don't you just debate Dave? Dave will never talk to me on this subject. The pro-Pallies have to remain as isolated as possible on this topic because they know nothing about the region, they know nothing about the history, and they have no prescriptions of what to do in this place. Obviously, I would debate him if he wanted to, but I think he's even in his own comment section right now, fighting for his life. Not fighting for his life, but telling everybody, oh, I'll never debate Destiny on this. Oh, he might have deleted the comments, but like, yeah, like October 7th tweets, like, I feel like I would give a little bit of leeway for somebody to be a little unhinged after you got, like, terrorist attacked that fucking hard, you know? Like most of your stuff, Dave, but question you, if you're so passionate about the topic, why not just have a direct conversation? Why not just grow the fuck up and watch this video? Damn!
Okay, so they do still occupy the West Bank. It's just been significantly depleted, I guess. Yeah, I got Mr. Sandman stuck in my head. Yeah. There's the ads. Did we get one earlier? I feel like we did get another one earlier too, so that might be the second ad. But that's still we're doing pretty good. A little over an hour here. Ooh, we're making time, but this may have to be a four-parter at this rate. I don't know how deep we're gonna get. Trav's got a lot of content, so I'm gonna have to be selective. And since he's still making it, there's just a few pieces.
There is worldwide legitimacy. Flatten Gaza without mercy. This time, there is no room for mercy. You think this hatred is reserved only for Palestinians? Think again. Israeli Minister of National Security Ben Gvir says that for every tear of an Israeli mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep.
This is fucking unhinged.
All of Lebanon must burn. Are you fucking listening? All of Lebanon must burn. This is not Israel-occupied Palestine. This is a sovereign nation with territory that Israel has lusted after since its inception, and which it is currently successfully stealing. But back to Gaza, Israeli military official Eliyahu Yassian says,
so I guess this sounds like it would have made a good debate topic between these two guys. They could have come in and done formal debate on Pangburn's network, and Dave took the stance at some point that he refused to work with Pangburn or ever associate with Destiny, potentially even in this very important debate. See, that would have been a good opportunity for all involved, but instead, Destiny made a video, Dave made a response, and now were doing video responses all around. Now Dave did make kind of veiled threats, as far as I can tell, on X towards Travis, and seemed very direct. But he said he was going to attack both Destiny and Travis, essentially, in those tweets.
There is no population in Gaza. There are 2.5 million terrorists.
Attack through video, not like a physical threat of violence, but through what he does here.
There is no meaning to giving them warning missiles. Israeli politician Moshe Feiglin states outright that Hamas is not the enemy. It's every child in Gaza. Every child, toddlers, babies. Babies are terrorists. Anyone who would say this is a sadistic monster.
Who said that? Who says that? Who's the famous baby settler guy?
There are entire databases filled with hundreds of instances of very clear incitement to genocide. They openly announce that they intend to commit.
Again, look at his expression, though. I'm sorry to have to replay this, but look at his expression when he's...
Every child in Gaza, every child, toddlers, babies. Babies are terrorists. Anyone who would say this is a sadistic monster.
Who said that? Who says that? Who's the famous baby settler guy?
There are entire databases
kind of a shrug and a smirk. Anybody catch that?
Filled with hundreds of instances of very clear incitement to genocide. They openly announce that they intend to commit genocide, not just random nut jobs on social media. Israeli officials, legislators, military personnel, decision makers, they all state this openly, the desire to completely wipe out the Palestinian population. Take a second and read this crap. This is a drop in the bucket. You listen to any of these assholes for long enough, you get some shit like this about human animals, or Amalek, who their God commanded them to destroy in the Torah, or whatever other rhetoric they can think of to justify the extermination of an entire race of people. Just like the...
You debated that Moshe Feiglin guy? Was he the guy? I've debated a few far-right Israeli people, but over here it's always like the pro-Pallies that I'm generally fighting. If he is I don't remember debating that many people. But there was one. I mean, all of the super Zionist guys are generally fucking unhinged.
Nazis did to the Jews in calling them vermin, parasites, rats, whatever they could do to dehumanize them. It's identical. They proudly announce genocidal intent, and then later...
Okay, so now he's made the point where he draws a parallel between the dehumanization of the Jews by the Nazis and the same tactic being used now against the Palestinians by the Jews. Let's see how you're...
Later deny the actualization of that intent when accused of the genocide they are committing, gaslighting the world with rhetoric about how the IOF is the most moral army in the world, rather than the reality...
Gaslight the world, true.
...that they are...
He did not respond to that at all. He's going to gloss right over it like it was never said, but you know that it was.
Actual terrorists. Here's Israeli Minister for Social Equality announcing how proud she is of the ruins of Gaza, and that every baby 80 years from now will tell their grandchildren what the Jews did. They take pride in the complete annihilation of a people.
אני אישית גאה בהריסות של עזה, ושכל תינוק, גם עוד 80 שנה מהיום...
What does IOF mean? Israeli Occupation Force.
Yeah, so IOF is the occupation force, IDF defense force, or is that like a pejorative use of... Wait. Are there two different? There's an occupation force. Oh, that's true. So there's an occupation force and there's the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, right? Two separate groups. Correct. Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
And you don't have to take the word of officials. You can ask the soldiers themselves. They proudly brag about children they've killed.
Again. You guys say it was taken out of context somehow?
For babies, but there is no babies left.
What babies? Say that again.
Huh?
Say it again.
No, maybe I killed a girl, she was 12, but I'm looking for a baby.
Do you like Palestinian children?
Yes.
Does it make you feel good when you a hospital? Really?
Yes.
You guys children.
What are these videos?
In Lebanon, is that okay?
Yeah, this is okay because in Hamas.
What about the children, the babies?
The babies is good too.
So Destiny doesn't buy the video. He doesn't think this is a real Israeli soldier.
Really, in Lebanon?
Yes, in Lebanon.
Is this like with the M4 or whatever? I don't even know what that gun is actually. Like this, is this a real video or is this just like a fucking propaganda piece? Like I got my rifle here and everything. Let me talk about how much I love killing babies.
In Gaza, in Iran.
Really? It's okay to kill babies in Iran?
Yes, yes.
And
okay.
in Gaza?
Yes.
And in Lebanon?
Yes.
What I need to know what the source of this video is.
You really believe that?
Fair enough.
Yes.
Really? Have you ever killed any Palestinians?
I
Have you ever killed any Palestinian children?
I
How many?
don't know.
You don't keep track?
No, but I can.
היינו במערב.
If anybody has a source of that video, I'd love to see it.
Oh, he's not going to look it up. He's going to ask his audience. Let's see if they find it.
Debate him, bet you won't, you're scared, lol. Why do none of you debate bro shitheads ask him why he's too afraid to debate me? He sure as fuck didn't reach up for calling me a Nazi. You're pathetic. Well, I
Clockwork says salt the earth, for sure.
actually, I think I did look for him on Twitter, because somebody suggested
Wait, what are we talking about?
this when I watched the first video, but his Twitter account is banned, and I have no idea how to reach him. But but I'm pretty sure I said that. I wonder if I said that in the video, because if I did, then he would have seen me say, of course I would debate him on this topic. Destiny, Professor Dave explains. Nice, good one.
The blatant manipulation.
The blatant manipulation.
So now he's going back to his original video.
Okay, I didn't say the word debate at least. And Professor
he's up in the comments.
Dave asks for that face-to-face debate fade. Don't run away, my boy. Oh, you done fucked up, son. Oh, 5 hour. Oh, these are all from the recent video that you just published. Well, if he wants to chat, I'd love to have a conversation on this.
So Destiny is willing to have a conversation. Dave does not want to have a conversation about it, apparently, at this point. The channels are open.
שלושה אובייקטים מתקרבים לעברנו לשטח שהוא שטח השמדה.
Wait, this is him. I couldn't find.
This was 7 days ago for the 2 weeks ago for the original Destiny video. Last week Dave dropped his video, and the day after Destiny dropped this one. So, and it looks like Trav's been posting pretty consistently over time.
Hello, IDF, Israeli soldier. How many Palestinians have you killed?
What?
Is the channel name listed there? I can't see it. I didn't even look at the last one. It looks like the channel name is listed, so he can look this up if he wants.
How many Palestinians have you killed?
It appears to be a legit Israeli soldier from here in a military vehicle.
20?
Is this like real life?
I don't know what is Palestinians. I know Hamas. In Gaza there is not civilians.
In Gaza,
all Hamas.
He says in Gaza there are no civilians. They are all Hamas.
In Gaza, there's no civilians. They're all Hamas. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 1 million kids in Gaza, they're Hamas.
Yeah.
Oh, he is viewing the original channel now. Okay, gotcha.
What kind?
What if you could make a song using only your voice?
Here's more ads. That's Suno. Okay. Trust me,
fucking lunatic.
heard a lot of promotion for Suno over here lately. I kid.
Tick on him.
Rex says burn it all, then salt the earth. You mean like just the whole region? Just why? That would also qualify as genocide, sir, and maybe some other things.
Hello.
How are you?
I can't
Suno sucks.
believe how much you guys included laundered this fucking lunatic's reputation here. Oh.
Who are you? Where are you from, guys?
Israel! You love Israel?
I love Palestine. I'm from Palestine.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Is this guy really Palestinian? He's kind of piqued my curiosity.
How are you? Where are you from, guys?
Israel! You love
Oh, hello. I've been looking for you.
What's up, man? You've been looking for me. What's going on?
I've seen your videos. I'm Israeli. Every day, on the news, at least one soldier dead in Gaza.
Oh. Tens of Palestinians are killed every single day.
Okay, and you know what happened on October 7th? At least
Does that excuse?
2,000 babies were murdered. At least.
2,000 babies? I remember there's like a single instance reported of them burning a baby. I mean, do they have 2,000? Okay. Well, that's I forgot what I was even going to search now. That just threw me for a loop. I wanted to hold on. Let's go back to what was just said.
Oh. Tens of Palestinians are killed every single day.
Okay, and you know what happened on October 7th? At least
Does that excuse?
2,000 babies were murdered. At least.
What? Hold on. How many babies were killed on October 7th?
At least 100, I think.
You just said 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
ואנחנו קיבלנו את הפקודה לחסל את 3 האובייקטים, כי הם נכנסים לתוך שטח השמדה שלנו. חיסלנו אותם, יש מאג ונגב, 2 נשקים.
Yeah, so that's wild. This is 2,000 babies. October 7th, 2023 terror attacks led by Hamas resulted in the deaths of approximately 1,200 people in Israel, mostly civilians. The total figure includes over 800 civilians and more than 350 soldiers, police officers, and security personnel, alongside 251 individuals abducted into Gaza as hostages. Yeah, okay, so that's our basic breakdown here. If we believe the AI propaganda, of course. U.S. Department of State.gov, for some reason, has a 2-year anniversary of October 7th attack on their webpage, published October 7th, 2025. Why would you do that? Oh yeah, because of Trump, right? Geez, are there any other? See, these are all everything I'm finding here, by the way, are sources from the West. They're either English or American sources. None of these are coming from sources in the area when I look it up. Just the overview. So okay. Yeah, we're almost gonna roll out of here. So for tonight, we're gonna come back to this though. We're gonna continue doing this because it's wild. It's wild. I can't side with Destiny or Travel on this. Thus far, just everything I know and my assessment of the situation. Israel's fucked up, and we got to stop supporting them. So I do agree with Dave. And I haven't really seen a whole lot of smearing. Now I do know one thing that Dave's gonna say about Destiny. Trav released a video on it earlier, and we'll cover it later. but it is false accusation, partially false accusation. The most important part, maybe, of the accusation is the part that's false, and the part that is true is currently in litigation, and we know quite a bit about because it's been covered pretty extensively. And yeah, Destiny did some fucked up shit, but no evidence as of yet that I can see that it is as bad as what Professor Dave claims. Not sure if it's in this video. I guess it must be. But again, Travis addressed that, and we'll get into it later. But not really a lot of personal attacks, from what I can tell. They seem to be having like a kind of pseudo debate going on here on the topic, but it's really redundant because it's all coverage of the coverage of the coverage type of shit. So it is meta analysis.
ואנחנו היינו צריכים לחסר אותם בסופו של דבר, 10 נקודות.
אומרת, הרגתי ילד. כאילו לא... אני אומרת צבא, לא אומרת... לחשוב על זה קשה. זאת אומרת, הייתי חושבת על זה מלא ו...
This is, how long of this video is just like quotes from Israelis or Jews or...
Drop in the bucket. Countless children in Gaza have been targeted and executed by snipers. There are so many accounts from both local and international doctors who received child after child with a single precise bullet wound to the head. Again, soldiers state outright that they intentionally murder children and that they're specifically ordered to do it, while officials continue to put on a show and act offended when it is suggested that soldiers do the things they openly admit they are doing. This is the definition of gaslighting. And how do Israeli soldiers and officials justify this grotesque behavior? Naturally, they have divine permission for it. They state this openly all the time as well. They are the chosen people, so they can do whatever they want. They say Israel is allowed to ignore the directives of international law in any field it desires. International law doesn't apply to them, so they should be able to commit genocide. They say they are entitled to violate the sovereignty of foreign countries. This means that any land they desire is theirs for the taking. This is announced proudly, publicly, and supported by a citizenry that has been brainwashed into believing that they are genuinely superior to other peoples.
Kids trained to see Arabs as slaves and all non-Jews as inferior.
They are inferior. Babies are terrorists. This is Israel. This is not some fringe political group. This is the whole fucking country. This is how they justify the slaughtering of countless innocent people, a thing that has been going on for almost 80 years now, but never with such ferocity as the past 2.5. And because
yeah, that's a math's out, right?
The media will never show you these victims or describe their slaughter with accurate language, I will
Really? Nobody in the media is talking about this. Okay.
This is who Israelis are talking about. Look at these.
Yeah. So I would say that's there are definitely media outlets covering this. But yeah, we frequently hear the spin from most that any criticism of as what these guys are saying, any criticism of Israel in this conflict is anti-Semitic, right? That is a common trope, and that's what we're all seeing. All right, I put on a little background music because there's background noise, and we're wrapping soon. So if that bothered you, I'm whatever about it, really.
People, look at these children. That anyone could look at these children and call them terrorists that deserve to die is beyond comprehension. Israeli officials who carry out this activity are rotten to the core and beyond saving. They are twisted and evil. But any member of the global public that can listen to these politicians or their puppets on social media say these things and look at these children and remain resolute in supporting Israel is also a lost cause.
Legitimate question, Destiny. What would it take to change your opinion on this? I don't know. It's difficult to engage with questions that are that fucking retarded. For the people.
And there he goes. There he goes. See, this is why I tune out from Destiny, because this is his response. It's a good question. What would it take to change your opinion? And you say, what a stupid question, and use the most offensive language possible to try to demean the intelligence of your opponent. Congratulations. Terrible, terrible debate tactic.
People that are saying unhinged, insane shit in Israel, these are bad statements. They're horrible. But it's...
Okay, thank you for at least that much. At least these people, some of them public officials in Israel, are saying insane, unhinged shit. Okay, we can agree.
Even worse, when you just show one side and you pretend like it's only one-sided. You're disqualified from the conversation. You shouldn't even have an opinion on it. You're fucking retarded. I'm sure
there you go. Again. Why?
There are unhinged, insane fucking people in Israel. I met a few, and I've talked to a few, and I've debated a few that are absolutely fucking unhinged. There's a reason why they're unhinged, though, right?
We got more than a few, though. We've got like a dozen at this point, at least, and many of them are in the cabinet. It's the parallel is the United States. Look at us. We got fucking RFK, doing health and human services or whatever. It's fucking ridiculous.
There's a reason why the Palestinians are unhinged as well. Both of these people have enough ammunition in even recent history to use against each other forever. But when you want to just cover one side of it, you're engaged in some either insane anti-Semitic program where you're labeling every single Israeli citizen, which they now finally are openly doing. Every single Israeli citizen is actually an unhinged, crazy murderer.
Nope, didn't say that.
Or when you're saying every single Palestinian.
So now you're strawmanning Dave.
Palestinian is trained from birth to want to kill.
Oh, see, I'm taking the unpopular position that Destiny actually is not making good arguments here in this response.
Kill and murder and rape every single fucking...
And I did not hear Dave make personal attacks other than another attack, again, unrelated to this, that he is wrong about, right? So I can call him out on that. But on these points, Destiny's taking the wrong
Jewish person, right? It's not helpful on either end. Both sides have enough ammunition against each other. They want to hit each other. You don't have to. It's presenting it so one-sidedly is so stupid.
Anyone who supports Israel is either completely brainwashed or a racist piece of shit. They bought in.
I think that's probably about Dave's worst argument throughout the video. Thus far.
To the brown people bad.
And we missed a lot of this because I skipped forward when we were watching. So thankfully, because we watched a lot of the same shit over and over in this review, but
narrative that has been pushed in the media and entertainment for decades in order to justify American imperialism in the Middle East. They fell for precisely the same dehumanizing rhetoric that led to the Holocaust. If you support Israel, you are a Nazi. There is no meaningful distinction between support for Israel today and support for Nazi Germany in the 1930s and 40s.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that statement, but
given the age we live in, the horror show that
really
is this genocide can be viewed by anyone with the courage to see it. It is the first genocide in history that has been broadcast globally in real time on a daily basis. It is undeniable unless you deliberately look away. So-called liberal Zionists, which is an oxymoron, are in denial of this reality. Their everyday lives consist of endless mental gymnastics to avoid witnessing the carnage. Their social media feeds are filled with propaganda peddlers convincing them that none of it is real. Genocide isn't real. If you don't go and look at it yourself, then you can pretend it doesn't exist. Well, I'm going to show you to the best of my extremely limited ability what is happening. This video almost certainly will not be monetized. I'm fully aware of that and I don't care. But I can't show you the true extent of the carnage.
It's fucking horrific. Alright, we're 30 minutes in and seeing just a lot of graphic shit. And of course I've lost my audience. But for those who care to come back and watch, it will be there, and I will be doing it more. So, come, don't come, is what it is. Much love to everybody in the chat. And we had Cher Wilkes, Pixie Storm, Spooky Bedhair, Robin Webster, Saw, Clockwork Rex, Will Freeman, JG at Certainty Exists. Anybody I missed? Much love, be kind, be well, and stay trusty. And we'll be back again soon. See you later.